Hey everybody, Crafting Journey here. That Journey Chick on Instagram. I have a special edition today of the Saturday Crafting and Crime Show. This is a show that I do daily, Monday through sometimes Saturday. I go live on Sundays and Wednesdays. Monday through Friday, I do true crime. I review live trials. But today we have a special guest, one of my crafting friends that was actually in the World Trade Center on 9/11. As many of you know, today is National Patriots Day and Service and Remembrance Day. It is also this day in history, 20 years ago today, of course, was 9/11. Hi, Narrate. How are you?
Hi, Rebecca. How are you? I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to tell your story.
Oh, I know. It's a long one. So,
You know what? Apparently, I went publicly live. Cheryl's joining us.
no. Oh, boy.
I honestly did not mean to do that. This was supposed to be recorded, guys, but that's okay. Cheryl's here, and Janice is here, and Vivian is here. So I'm not going to address the audience during this show. I thought I was recording it. Apparently, I went live. Sorry. Anyway, Narita. So tell us about what happened that day. You were there.
Right. Well, Lewis and I rode in together on the subway. And that morning, I got off the train in the World Trade Center underneath. He worked upstairs on, I think it was the 42nd floor. And I went into the concourse because I wanted to go shopping. What else? What else do women do? Right? Go shopping.
So now the concourse, I had never been there. The concourse, describe for me, is that like it's
below the towers? It's like a level below the towers, and it's there were all kinds of stores there.
So that's something you never talk about, that there were people shopping in those stores below the World Trade Center. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So all right, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
People going to work, and if you had to pick up something, blah blah blah, whatever. We were shopping down there, and then I had bought a blouse in one shop, and then I went to the body shop to get some like perfume, because I wear fragrance, and I forgot to put on my perfume that morning, so I wanted to take something to the office and just leave it there. And so I happened to go in there, and then the lights blinked. And when we looked outside, we saw people just running through the World Trade Center and, just like really panicking. And I got really scared. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I called Lewis. He was upstairs, and he said, we're being evacuated. I have to go. So he was on his way down. And I figured, okay, so I'll meet him outside. So I walked outside of the concourse and walked into the street, and people were crying. People were pieces of paper were floating down through the air off the from the office building that had just gotten hit with the first plane. And I remember seeing a pregnant woman coming out. She was her nose was all covered with soot, and she was crying, and it was just a horrible scene, something from out of, a movie, except that it was real.
How would you get out of that concourse to come out?
Well, there are doors. You go up these little stairs, and then you're back on street level. So,
did you see where the plane had gone in?
Yeah. So then I was on Church Street. I looked over, and there's that big gaping black hole where the first plane hit.
Now, where was Lewis now?
Well, Lewis was on his way down from, because he was evacuating. He had been there for the first explosion back in the 90s. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was
like, I'm out of here, right?
I'm out of here. I don't care what they say.
Which tower did he work in?
He worked in the second one that got hit.
Oh, okay. So the South Tower.
Yeah. Right.
So when the first plane hit, he just reversed course and started getting out of there. Oh, okay. What floor did he work on?
I think it was 40. It was either 44 or 42. I'm not sure.
But had he already gotten all the way up there?
Huh?
Had he already gotten all the way to 42nd floor?
Yeah, he had gone to work. went down to the cafeteria, got his breakfast, had it in a cardboard box, and he was that's when the plane, when the whole evacuation started, and so that's when I called him, and he said, "No, I'm on my way out." So
Oh, good. So he
yeah.
never got up there. That's great. Yeah.
No, actually, he was on, I think, the 12th or the 13th floor when the second plane hit his building. And he said he could feel the building, shake. But he got out. He got out, and then he ate his breakfast over at City Hall Park.
Men.
Exactly.
All right. So
Wouldn't
continue.
let go of his breakfast,
Yeah,
mind you.
of course. He's hungry.
He's funny.
So, so what happened with you then? Go back to
All
your.
right. So then I was looking for him. So I went down by where the stairs were, where I initially had come out. So I walked over there, and all of a sudden, the second plane hit right above my head almost, because I was right underneath that building. And I see this plane going into the building, and I see chunks of stuff coming down. And I'm like, I better get the heck on out of here. So I turn around, I look across the street, and there's a fire station, and then there was a Burger King with like they had there were men working. So I said, "Nah, I'll go into the fire station." But at that point, I fell down, and somehow I had cut my arm or my elbow, and so I was bleeding. And then by the time I got to the fire station, which was right across the street, one of the firemen said, "Oh, your arm is bleeding. Come in here, and we set up a triage center here, and we'll take care of that." So they wrapped it up, they cleaned it out, they wrapped it up, and then they said, "Just stay here because you know we have to take other people who are more badly injured to the hospital. You can wait." So there were several people in the fire station, sitting around waiting for whatever was going to happen, because of course nobody at that point really knew what was going on.
Oh
Um,
no, no, not
yeah.
at all. Yeah.
So, we're sitting around, people are talking. There was one Asian man on the floor. He was crying, and he was hurt. And he kept asking me for my phone. I'm like, you can have it, but we can't use it because the towers are down. We can't use the phones. Um, and then another woman came in. She was burned on the back of her body because she was standing by the elevator banks when
Oh
when a
no.
fireball came down. I mean, her hair was matted and burned to her, head, and her
Oh,
clothes in the back were gone just about. It was pretty bad. So in all that, the when I had got sitting at the fire station, one fireman came in, young guy, really nice looking guy, and I'm saying to myself, where is he going? This is it's a lost cause. I'm thinking to myself, what is he going to do in there? I mean, this thing is like burning up. And he just changed into his fire gear, because of course that's his job. That's what he does to help. To help others. And he got into his gear and left and went right into the trade center.
oh
And
wow.
my heart broke at that point, because I'm thinking, no, such a young guy. I hope he's going to be okay. And one of the guys in the fire station said, "Mama, come on out here, come on outside." And so I was standing outside for a second. I looked up at the burning, because it was just black and smoke coming out, and I saw a jumper come out of the building and jump down. Honestly, that was, I just thought to myself, this poor person had to make a decision at that point whether to stay inside and burn to death or jump and die.
Oh my God,
That was
Anita.
what a horrible decision to have to make.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Anyway, but we were sitting around in the fire station, and I went back in. I did not want to see that again, ever. Um, it was just terrifying. And then um, shortly afterwards, the Captain Mallory, who's the captain of the fire station, yells out, "Everybody run to the back! The building's collapsing!" So everybody gets up and starts running towards the back of the fire station. But at that moment, the building just came down. The force of the building coming down just knocked us all to the ground. You couldn't see not even an inch in front of you. It was just soot or whatever that debris from the building, the pulverized debris from the building was all over. You couldn't breathe. You couldn't see. Um, so we just tried to get up, and it's weird because when I got up, I saw, those little those big pick things that the firemen use to break down the walls.
Yeah.
There was one right almost underneath me, and I'm like saying, holy, this is not my time to die because
It just
I
missed
didn't
you.
I
Oh
didn't
no.
fall right. I didn't fall on
Oh
top of
no.
it. So, we all got up. Captain Mallory told us, whatever, try to clean out your breathing passages, put something over your faces. So the blouse that I got, I wrapped it around my head. And, we couldn't get out the front because that was all covered with parts of the building and, the big chunks of concrete and whatever, out there. So we were all in the kitchen. We were all like cleaning ourselves. And then um, he said, well, oh, there was one other fireman. He was laying also on the floor. He was crying. He was hurt. And they said,
Oh.
well, we're going to try to get you guys out the back door. So they were able to break down the back door. And of course, the building was not that tall. It's like maybe two stories or 3 stories, and so it created a lean to, so the debris fell like this.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
right, so it created I mean, there was debris, but it created a little space so that we could all get through the back of that building and onto Church Street. And I remember when I got to Church Street, the policemen that were there said, just keep walking towards the sun, walk towards the sun, whatever you do,
Oh,
just keep walking towards the sun. And when I turned around to look at the World Trade Center where the building had been, it was such a surreal feeling. I mean, I can't even tell you how weird it was. It was like being in a sci-fi movie or an apocalypse movie where the earth is destroyed. It was that um, devastating. It was, I mean, here's this majestic building crumbled to nothing. It was
yeah.
it was unbelievable. Um, so let me see.
You need a minute? Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to stay like on course here. Oh, so then I started walking up where Liberty Park was, past the Merrill Lynch building, and I started walking down Fulton Street and decided to go into a little deli that had water. So I said, let me go in there and get some water. When I did that, the other building collapsed. And
Now, how far
that,
away were you? Just like a few blocks?
well, yeah, I'd say like maybe about 5 or 6 blocks away. Um, so that
You've got
whole,
9 lives. I don't think
yeah,
you have nine
I'm
lives left,
telling you, I'm
Margarita.
telling you. And they were actually the deli, they were giving away bottles of water, to whoever came in. So I got a bottle of water, and all of a sudden the big billowing cloud comes rushing down the street. But we were fine because we were inside, the store.
Oh my God.
So, oh yeah, oh my gosh. So then, and I forgot to tell you, I lost my sandal So that guy who had come in to change into gear, I asked Mallory, can I have this shoe because I can't walk, if I'm barefoot. So he said, no, just take it. So I was walking around with one penny loafer, a male's penny loafer, and my
Oh
sandal.
no.
Oh yeah, it was cool. It was crazy. Um, but anyhow, then once I got out of there, I walked, over the Brooklyn Bridge, and once we were on the Brooklyn side of the East River, there were tons of ambulances there, and people like EMS people trying to help whoever came over the bridge, and so they put me into an ambulance, and they took me to um, nearby hospital, and they checked me over, checked my vitals, make sure I was okay. I got a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
And then
Okay. Well, that's good.
that's a good thing, right? And then strangely enough, it's funny because the best of humanity really stepped up that day, and people that were in the hospital that had to get home to other boroughs. I had no way to get home. I mean, the trains weren't working, everything was just a mess. So people were volunteering, coming to the hospital with their cars and driving people home to
Oh wow.
wherever they lived, And I live in Queens, so
So how far is that from the hospital where you
oh, it
were?
was pretty far from the hospital. I mean, it's well, traffic and all that. It was at least a half hour ride from there.
Oh wow.
So this young guy offered to take me home to Queens, and we talked about it on the way, and it was just such an amazing moment because I was able to share with him, and I hadn't been able to use my phone. All of a sudden, when I was in Brooklyn, my phone started functioning again because it must have picked up the signal, and I was able to call my mother and let her know that I was okay. And
Were you
meanwhile,
able to call Lewis when you
no, Lewis
finally
was
get a hold of him?
still, he was in Manhattan, but he had gone to a contingency site.
Okay.
He worked for Morgan Stanley, so he was at a different site uptown, further uptown. So he was fine. It's like
You didn't know that.
he had no idea what was going on with me. I had no idea what was going on with him. Um, so I finally got home. My daughter, who lived in Brooklyn, found out I was in the hospital. She went to the hospital, but I had already left. So another kind soul drove her all the way to Forest Hills to Queens for me so that she could be with her mother. And like maybe not even a half hour after I was home, she showed up, and that was really good. And then later on, like I guess maybe around after 5, Lewis was able to get home. But another strange thing that I don't share with everybody, but um, when I took a shower that night, I could feel, like, as I washed my face, I could feel the little, like, slivers of metallic or glass slivers cutting into my face. So I had to, like, be careful how I washed my face.
Oh wow.
And and I had this huge lump on my head. I have no idea how I got the lump on my head. Oh my gosh. I don't know. It was the craziest thing. But and then the next day, believe it or not, actually a couple of days later, I was back down into that area because there was a bond closing, and I was the lucky one that was sent down to, take care of the paperwork. And um, I walked by another fire station on the East River side, and I left my business card with a little note on it. Thank you, Captain Mallory, for saving our lives, because he really did. You could see it in his face when the building came down, how he went from fear, because he knew his guys were in that building dying, And he just became a professional once again, a first responder,
Yeah.
helping helping the victims and these people in his fire station, so trying to get them out safely. And you could see how his face just changed from fear and pain, which he was experiencing for his men. And then he went into, that mode of, his getting everybody out safely and taking
Yeah.
care of people. So I'll never forget that. But I left that my business card with that message. And not even a week later, I think it was maybe a week later, I get a call from Captain Mallory, and we had this conversation, and we just spoke, and I kept thanking him for, for what he did for us and how he took care of us. And it was, I don't know, it was the best of humanity
Yeah.
that day. Everybody was there to help you no matter what. you know um and
Well, and I think that was, that was everywhere. I was in Las Vegas and that's what I
oh,
experienced. I was by myself. It was literally the best of humanity. No one would say an unkind word. The
uh-huh.
hotel, I was in a hotel. They said, we're lowering our rates for everybody that's stuck here. When
Mm-hmm.
you would go down for dinner, because everybody was alone, nobody was gambling,
Right.
whoever you were in line with for dinner, you would just sit down at a table and you would sit and talk to them, even though they were strangers to you,
Right,
because
exactly.
it was like
Uh-huh.
this bonding
Mm-hmm.
experience. Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty
Did you
crazy.
save that penny loafer?
I don't know where it is. I have to look for it because I really should give it to the museum.
You should.
Yeah,
You
I just
should.
have to look. I don't even know if I'm sure that I kept it. I just
Well,
have to
we're
look.
all savers. As
Yeah.
crafters, we are savers. I think
Oh
it's
my
probably a good
God.
bet that you would have it.
Yeah. That's so
So, if
true.
anybody in the chat has questions for Nareda or would like to say where they were on this day in history, if you just came in, Nareda, please hashtag replay. Nareda's telling her story of being in the World Trade Center on that morning. You got to, I'm crying too. Sorry. Um, it's just one of those places where you'll always remember where you were.
Mm-hmm.
It just never leaves you, and you can
Yeah.
remember it like it happened 5 minutes ago.
And
So,
we were all Americans. We were all
mhm.
one. You know, it's funny because I thought about that today. Um, of that unity, and united we stand, divided we fall, and we have to stop being divided. We have to be unified. We are the
And this
United
country,
States of America.
they were saying that this morning on the Today Show that just that this country's so divided, and we're so ripe for something like this to happen again. You know, as divided as we are, our guard is down. We're just
Mm-hmm.
focused on fighting amongst ourselves.
Uh-huh.
That something like this might happen again. Rochelle said she worked for Morgan Stanley at the time, and
No
they were
kidding.
watching the news. I don't know if it was in New York. She said
No.
watching the news as the horrific events unfolded, the office was silent. It hit everyone hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if she meant in New York or
Right,
somewhere
because so
else.
many people from Morgan Stanley did not make it. You know,
Yeah.
luckily for
God.
Lewis, that he was below where the plane came in. A few floors below that, so he was able to get out. And you know, I worked for Bank of New York. I don't know if anybody,
So where was your building in relationship to the World Trade Center?
Okay, so usually what I would do is if I got off with Lewis at his stop, I would get out um, and walk through the concourse, and then at the other side of the concourse there was another exit, and there was a bookstore. I think it was. Oh, I don't remember now. I think it was. I don't know if it was Waldorf or Barnes and Noble. I don't know. There was another bookstore. So I would go to the bookstore if I had enough time before I had to be at work, and browse a little bit. And then there was another, exit out of the bookstore. And then it just left me like maybe a couple of blocks or away from, my building, which was like,
Oh, okay.
maybe, yeah.
So did your building survive this?
Yeah. My building was okay. Hmm.
So that will teach you to go shopping.
I know. I know.
I
Listen, I
just,
saved.
I never realized that there were all these shops underneath
Oh,
the World
yeah.
Trade Center. They never talk about anybody that was shopping that day or in one of those stores. They talk
Oh my
about people that
God.
were just getting to work.
It
But
was a great place. And then even like the plaza upstairs, they would have in the summer, they'd have concerts and people would go after work and you'd bring coolers. Some people even brought coolers and you'd have like drinks or, hanging out and dancing and
oh,
it was
yeah.
it was great. It was great.
So were all those shops destroyed? I'm
Yeah,
assuming. Oh, yeah.
everything's gone. Gone.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
Yeah.
God. All those people that worked in those shops,
Oh,
too.
well, I'm
Oh.
sure they didn't stay.
Vivian said she's glad you were able to make it safe and tell your
Oh,
story, sending
thank
hugs.
you.
Palmy Angel, who she's in New Zealand, she was at a funeral of a friend who
Oh,
died in a car crash when the news broke in New Zealand. Rochelle was in Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania
oh,
office.
right.
They lost a lot of colleagues. Hi,
Right.
Wilma Jean. How are you, sweetie? Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh my gosh.
What's wrong?
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hi, Nick and Tina. Nick and Tina are going to be my guests next week on Craft With Me Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. We're going to be coloring. Oh,
Whoa.
I'm going to get out a coloring book. Yeah. Victoria was at school in college.
Wow.
Yeah. Victoria, you're so young.
Yes, I was just thinking that. What a baby. Sweet baby.
Well, I lived in Florida, but I was in Vegas at a convention. It was supposed to end that day. I was supposed to fly home on Wednesday. I couldn't get out of Vegas till Sunday. I couldn't get a flight because they were grounded for a day or two, and then everything was backed up, and but there was nothing to do in Vegas. Not a thing.
Gamble.
Shows were all dark. They thought, that there were fears that they were going to hit Vegas too, as well as other targets. And
Mhm.
the thing that I saw that was beautiful, one day I took a bus. I just got on a bus and I just said, well, I told the driver, if you pass a church, stop. So he stopped at this Catholic church and he let me out. And so I went in and they were just starting a service. So I'm not Catholic, but I attended the service and I thought,
Right.
I need to pay my respects to these people that lost their
Mhm.
lives. And then I just got on a bus going the opposite way. And then one evening at the Bellagio, the fountains, they did a tribute
Oh,
at the
wow.
fountain.
That must have been beautiful.
It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. Of course, it had everybody in tears because it was so moving. But yeah, I finally was able to get home that Sunday. But I remember that particular day, everybody calling everybody, like anybody you knew. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? So I can't even imagine, not knowing where Lewis was till 5 o'clock when he saw his dinner.
Lewis tells me.
Thank you, Rochelle. That is so sweet of you. That will go to support the channel. I appreciate it, sweetie.
Lewis tells me to this day, he says, that's what you get for not minding your own business.
Oh, and it ruined your new blouse.
Yeah. He said, if you had just gone where you were supposed to go, you wouldn't have been, in that mess. So I don't know.
Oh, Vivian says she is from Boston, where those planes came from. It was horrible when we found out about it. Yeah.
Oh, look what I got today.
What'd you get? Is it Monster Mash?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, I didn't realize you bought Monster Mash. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. On a lighter
So
note,
many
right?
people are going to paint along with us. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Hmm.
Cheryl Katz was at a mall. Hey, Lewis,
Hi.
does he want to talk to us?
Yeah, he wasn't. He's not feeling good.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Bye, Lewis.
Yeah.
Feel better. So, did you get the round with the crystals?
I got the round with the crystals. Yes, I did.
I'm so
I
excited. I don't
know.
know where to put them, but I'm going to put them somewhere.
Look, I'm so excited.
You can show everybody.
Oh my goodness. Look at this. I haven't even really opened it yet.
Oh, okay. This is the official unboxing from the New York edition of Monster Mash.
Oh
Coming
boy.
to you live from New York City
Yeah.
is Monster Mash.
Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, I see the crystals. Oh my goodness.
And it's not terribly big. I know you don't like huge
Right,
paintings.
right. It's perfect. This is amazing. Oh my goodness, the colors are so beautiful. And
Aren't they beautiful? They're
oh,
very vibrant colors. That's one of the things I enjoy about it.
oh, wait a minute. How did I get this out of here? Oh, okay, okay, found it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that those nifty new bags that they have where you have to
Oh
find the
my
opening.
goodness. I'll just
Hi,
show
She
you the
Shed Craft Shack. How are you? Don't forget, if you guys came in late, go back and hashtag replay so you can hear Narrate's story of surviving the World Trade Center. Right now, we're talking Monster Mash because she just got
look
hers.
at the green. Oh my god, wait, there. Oh my goodness.
Yes, green,
I think these are pink, right? Like a
pink, yeah, pink.
red. Oh my. Wait, can you see it? There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of a red one. Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
reddish orange. Yeah,
And then there's a yellow, like a gold, I guess, or
yeah,
yellow. Oop, oop,
yeah.
oop. There we
Now, they
go.
don't actually replace a particular color. You just put them wherever you want to put them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And of course, I have all these sparklers. Oh my goodness, you have no idea. I mean, Tia, I know is like the sparkler queen, but I have a lot of them.
She said is cutting tomatoes for dinner. She said, "What are you having for dinner?" And if for anybody else that might have been live at this particular time, I apologize. I did not mean to go over anybody. I know that Sharon might be out of town. She sometimes goes live around this time. I actually meant to record this and then put it up later, but we're here. So,
Is there
Narita,
some
you're
social?
awesome for getting through that and then now and telling your story. That's from Cheryl. Does it help to tell your story?
Yeah, I guess it does. Like, I mean, after 20 years, you kind of want to just, not talk about it all the time. But, if someone is interested in hearing what we experienced, then, I'm quite happy to
Well,
share that.
I was telling my sister this morning. I said, I've been doing this show now for over a year, the morning
Hmm.
edition of this, and I remember last year you left a comment. I was in the World Trade Center. I'm like, so I think I called you and I'm like, what? Tell me
Yeah.
about it. So I thought, oh my God, it would be great to have you on and let everyone hear your story.
Thank
Especially about that
you.
brave captain who helped save
Oh,
you. And
it's weird, but I think about him all the time because I say, I wonder if he's still with us, because of all the people who have gotten ill from.
I thought about that with you. Have you ever had any effects from all that?
Well, who
And that's
knows? Who knows? I'm thinking about it because I have a lot of like post nasal drip, and I'm wondering if some of that has to do with what I inhaled that day, and you know,
or just because you live
or
near a
just
tree.
is it allergy?
You
Just
never know. Yeah.
right? I don't know. So we'll see. I'm thinking of actually calling that those the World Trade Center because I'm on the registry, so um, and asking them, about whether I should go down and have myself checked out by them. You know,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
that
because
probably wouldn't hurt.
I know, because I'm not sure that, a regular doctor doesn't really have the total reference to, that whole, um, I guess all the things that could go wrong with people who experienced that and who inhaled all those um, toxins and whatever, that, I mean, those things
And
are
you don't know what they're not telling us. Maybe there's something
exactly.
that's, you should get checked out, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. But you're living to a ripe old age and
There you
crochet.
go. I'll be 70 in December. Woohoo!
So are you crocheting anything these days? What are you working on?
It's so funny you should ask. I'm going to a 60th birthday party this coming week. And I bought her some things, and of course, we'll give her a check. But I was thinking I would make a shawl with this. It's a very
Shawl
neutral,
fab, right?
yeah,
Fab.
it's neutral, shawl in a ball fab, and it's a
That's
neutral color.
gorgeous. It's
Yeah,
gorgeous. We
it's
love
like
that.
gray with silver, and it's got that glittery silver thread going through it. So I
She
said,
would
I don't
probably
know.
be disappointed if she didn't get a shawl from you.
Yeah, maybe that's a possibility. So I was thinking, maybe I should just quickly find a simple pattern and just, whip one up in a few days and
Yeah, you
get it
should.
to her and throw it in with the rest of the goodies.
Rochelle said it's an honor to hear from a survivor. Thanks, Narita.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I
And
really appreciate it.
She Shed is making corn on the cob and bacon tomato sandwiches for everyone. You get
Woo!
one, and you get one.
Oh, wow. Can I have one?
You get one. And they're homegrown tomatoes. One of my neighbors the other day brought us homegrown tomatoes, a whole bag full.
Wow.
And they're about this
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
I guess, and they are delicious. Oh
Delicious,
my god,
right? I
you
know.
cannot buy anything like this in a store. You
Hmm.
just can't. So good. So we've been eating those. And tonight we're having a um, crock pot dinner. So make sure you hit
Oh.
the like button for this video, and then I'll put the like button in the crock pot and make it go quicker. So.
Oh boy.
And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Consider subscribing. Ring the bell when you want to be notified when I have another video posted, which is like all the time. So let's see your monster mash. Show everybody your painting.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Oh, can I show it?
Said she just popped one in her mouth.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here. This is how. Oh, you see that little pink monster?
Yeah.
Well,
there
actually,
you
he's
go.
And I think.
Oh, we can see it. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Now, I think even though the colors on the canvas are not the exact color, it's not going to turn out. It's going to be way more vibrant than what the canvas appears.
Oh, but the canvas is also pretty bright. I mean, it almost looks like.
But I think like that blue monster is really green.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the symbols are probably off, but yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait. Actually, I mean, I'm
Well, that
almost
kicks off on the 15th, so you got to make sure you get the shawl done in the next few days. Today's the 11th. You got a few days to finish the shawl.
I'm still working on Athena. That one. Hopefully, I think it should be done in a week or so, because I'm just have the middle part, the Athena's face to finish, and then I'll be done, because I've dragged it out for so long.
Peter saying thank you. Rochelle says, I love my Monster Mash. It's on its way. Tracking shows it's in Virginia. Apparently, Cheryl's has not shipped yet. Cheryl, you have the worst luck with diamond shipping. Where do you live? Like on Mongolia or what? I mean, I know Cheryl, she's in South Florida. People don't want to ship to South Florida. What is it? China doesn't like South Florida. I don't know. She has the worst luck with shipping.
So
She'll get
sad.
her Monster Mash in time for next year.
Oh
So we'll
no.
have a different theme next year.
When we're all
Anyway,
finished with
thank you
ours.
so much. I'll let you go make your dinner.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to go enjoy whatever's in the crock pot. I've been diamond painting this morning. Actually, let me show you guys before we go. Let me turn the light off. I always show you during the show what progress I've made. I've done like everything in her lap there.
Right. Wow, I love
And
it.
then her little butt that's sitting in the chair. That's part I'm working on now. So we're working our way up. And I thought like these yellow ABs that I got from Diamond Painting Drills, I'm going to add in like wherever you see, you know, this yellow part here, not the whole thing, but just little parts of it. And then over here, there'll be little bits of AB. I think that'll be kind of cute.
Yeah. It looks really good though. I love the colors.
There's terrible gapping in this.
Yeah, but it looks great. And
you can't tell from a distance, so I'm good with it.
Like the wicker chair that she's sitting on. I love the way the color looks.
I know it's
the
turning out so cool. Yeah,
so
against
pretty.
the blue. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Narrate.
Thank you, Rebecca, for having me. And everybody have a great day.
I will see everybody tomorrow in the Sunday live. That'll be at 11 Central. My guest will be Kim's Crafty Craziness. She's from the UK. She's always a hoot. Yeah, I'm doing Sunday UK versions from now on. Just featuring my UK friends. Anyway, I hope to see you guys all then or in a live later today. Love you all. Bye.
Bye everybody. Thank you for
having me. Thank you, Narrate.
All righty. Bye-bye.